Hey there, fellow engineers and drillers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Rock Galactic Survivor, Episode 7, Shock Boss and Driller. So, I am going to try to complete the dive this time, because I think I have the weapon mods to do it on an engineer.
Gonna keep my stuff in good repair.
It's dreadnought time, miner. Find the damn thing, destroy it.
Them's the goal. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna go with damage. One thing to note is you usually end up getting a lot of turrets. So with the swarm of turrets that you have, if you crank their damage, they really start to shred in a beautiful way. Because they don't do amazing damage unless you really focus on their damage and their fire rate.
Clear the landing zone of obstacles. Objective completed.
This one looks best.
I do also feel like, and this is unfortunate, I feel like the stubby voltaic is almost a must for the engineer, because it's the only thing that will, it's pretty much the only weapon available to the engineer early on that will shoot at closest enemy, which keeps little things from biting you. And I didn't get it offered here. What do you want me to go? What weapon to take? Shotgun or shock fence? I want one or the other. If we go shock fence, obviously I don't have the weapon mods unlocked. So it's limitedly useful for this run, but I'm happy to do it anyway. If you go shock fence, I'll aim to get it to level 12, but probably only after modding my turrets up significantly. Okay, you want the shock fence, cool. I'll just call that one early.
Oh, give me those savvy things.
So now, while I move around, I will be deploying these little shock fences, and anything that walks through the shock fence gets zapped pretty hard. Oh, I think I have to abandon the drop point for a minute. The shock fence is also really effective at harming things that are following you. I find that a lot of the engineer weapons, because they're deployed, are good at killing the dreadnought. Because as the dreadnought chases you, it's going to get shocked, it's going to get shot by your turrets. There's a lot of damage potential. So I find that the engineer doesn't do a ton of damage compared to some of the other classes, but its weapons are really effective at killing things that are chasing you, which is where its strengths are at. So I find that the engineer is very effective at killing dreadnoughts compared to the other classes, bearing some builds, right? Not all builds are the same, but... Alright, so one extra charge. It's like more turrets. I do not like the turrets mine walls. I find it horrible. Well, not horrible, but like, it often will screw you by removing train blockers that you were relying upon for survival.
Doesn't hit harder, but looks fancy.
I'm going to get my turrets up to 12, and then I'll start working on the shock fence.
I'm gonna be the best survivor.
Ooh, there's a magnet on the field. Nice. Oh, turrets to 13. So turrets will follow me around.
This one almost makes it too easy. This is my pick.
So now when I deploy turrets, they're going to have little tank treads, and they'll follow me around, which makes them a lot more effective when I'm moving. And as you can see, they're great at absolutely plinking away at the health of anything that is chasing me. Because you are usually faster than your tank, your turret tanks. And so they're, again, a very effective tool for dreadnoughts. Because ultimately, what is really good at horde clearing is not always really good at killing dreadnoughts. So you need to find weapons. And as far as game theory goes, you kind of need weapons to do both. Because if you don't have weapons that are really good at clearing swarms, you end up in a situation where you get, you'll just have so many swarms that you don't have the maneuver room to actually kill the dreadnought. But if you don't have weapons that are really good against the dreadnought, then the swarms keep swarming and swarming and swarming, and you'll get overrun. So you kind of have to balance them both.
I can't get enough of
So I'm going to go with the XP and stronger,
this will help me work harder.
stronger shock fence. I really hope that I'm offered the stubby voltaic next, because I need a weapon that shoots at things that are next to me.
Mission control, you surly bugger. This one's
Also in this case, another good thing for the engineer food for thought is that modifying your turrets to do electrical damage and taking the stubby to do electrical damage and your shock fences to do electrical damage so that everything's electrical damage allows you to sort of specialize. Lifetime would be very strong here too. The reason I didn't do it is that if you're running around a lot, lifetime is less useful, but I do like lifetime bonuses so that the turrets and the fences last longer. Ouch.
See you in hell.
Supplies blocked. Get the landing zone cleared.
See you in hell. Now it's my
I'm just going to focus on getting the fences to 12. The other thing is, like, move speed's really, really important to be able to deploy your fences and turrets, like, where you want them, that are strategically useful. Because if you don't move around enough, then you can't really employ them tactfully or tactically.
Objective completed. Excellent job.
Some good old-fashioned low-skill face tanking. And there's my stubby voltaic. Great. Because a lot of the damage that I've been taking has just been like little things that I can't actually kill with any accuracy.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, that's annoying.
Swarm detected.
Oh, okay.
They'll be with
Good.
you shortly.
It allowed me to call it down even though a chunk of it is beyond the vines.
I'm raring to try this out. So you like her?
As you can see, I'm focusing on just having an electrifying experience if they're trying to follow me. Positioning myself so that the shock towers are in the path of the enemy continually. And that cleared the whole horde. Most of it. Come on with these options.
Take this one.
So 4 more points for the shock fence, and I'll have weapon mods for it. I also think that my turrets are definitely not going to be strong enough to actually clear the dreadnought unless I get them to 18. I really need another weapon mod for them to be effective for the dreadnought. What garbage options? Come on. Come on, game. Ooh, magnet. Going for the magnet.
Swallow this.
arrived. Get there now. We'll leave without you.
So let's get the main turrets up as well.
Might as well.
My mining speed sucks and my move speed sucks, so those are two passives that I ought to focus on.
Stage completed. Onwards to stage 3.
Well, here's a little bit of mine speed, not much.
This'll do.
Load up and get going, miner. We have quotas to fulfill.
I'm also about to unlock the gold tip bullets, which are a nice artifact from supply drops. Once you go to the effort of unlocking some of these nicer artifacts here, you can really boost your chances of success. So gold tip bullets are really nice, the nitrogenic powder is really nice, the ammo rig is really nice. The pop-up tripod can be nice depending on your builds, and they will increase your win rate a lot if you more than the ones you get early on, because the early on ones are kind of blah. Whoa, birdie! Oh, the problem is I want to be going this way. The shock fences are completely useless in pushing. They're really only for fleeing. Oh, there's a swarm. I gotta dig my heels in. Where to go? It's gonna be hard to avoid this swarm.
Clear out the LZ, please.
Back to hell. Come and get me, you big fuck.
This is a bad position to be in.
I can use this.
I'm just gonna white the bullet and blitz through. It sucked, but I'm alive.
The scan just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
I do have Vita Minor pills, so I'll heal when I level up.
It's my own personal lightning storm. This one makes me want to be a better dwarf.
So the drop pod's to my south, and I know I'm heading the wrong direction for that. Oh god. So much spit. I'm just gonna get spit to death. Which is unfortunate because I really wanted my fence to level up to 12, but I just couldn't.
Think you can kill me? Think again.
Honestly, it was just bad upgrade. Some of the upgrade decisions that I made were just not ideal.
Hazard 1 feels.
Meaning that my damage potential was really low.
Remember, you're on your own this time.
And
There's no one to carry your
I cornered myself for one of the swarms. Because whenever the swarms are coming, you really need you need like open area and a lot of breathing room. Because if you don't have open area and a lot of breathing room, you're definitely getting overrun and stomped. And I stomped myself. That was my fault. So I'll have another crack at that, and then if this doesn't go well, what I can do is I can double back to one of the other zones that I haven't fully cleared and work on them instead.
I just became a better dwarf.
Supply pod prepped and ready, miner.
Without sounding like a broken record, when you're using weapons that you don't have mods unlocked, your damage potential for those weapons are really, really, really bad. So often you just have to sacrifice a run to get those weapon mods. Because without those weapon mods, you're just your damage output's not going to be usually enough for a win. Well, I'm glad I got all those mining upgrades because this drop pod Sure, this supply beacon would have sucked otherwise.
A swarm is heading your way. Load up.
So this time around, I'm just going to Stubby to actually try to get a win, rather than to unlock the fence. Because I have the mod for the Stubby. And I have the mod for the Warthog. There is a magnet in that pile, but I'm going to leave it as long as I can.
I'll take this one. Follow this.
There we go.
Sure, why not? Cowabunga! Pretty sweet. I'm a new dwarf.
Without magnets, turret setups seem really bad. I wouldn't say they're really bad necessarily.
Now this is a rare treat.
It's more just you have to be tactful about having looping circuits so that you're actually collecting what you're shooting. So here we go. I'm going to do balanced overclock, where it reduces its damage, but all other weapons get damage bonus, and then not put any more points into the Stubby, unless they're like epic or legendary. With the plan to have perhaps a Warthog as a third weapon, or just to focus on the turrets, so the turrets do more damage. Hey Van Deathheart, thank you for the resub. Oh right, I have really good mining speed. I forgot about that.
I got it in
Drop
the
pod
mouth.
has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. Drop pod is not going to hang around.
And yeah, movement speed is definitely really important for this class. Come on, boss. I want to kill you before I have to leave. There we go. I'm glad I have really good mining speed.
It's about to head out.
Oh god. Right on through. I didn't get my Morkite, which is unfortunate, but... And level 12 was pretty blah. Oh well.
I rarely pick one of these.
Get to work. There's aliens to be killed and gold to be mined.
Oh, I need to take a dump.
But yeah, what I will say is I would... Having like roughly 25% move speed or so will make fighting the dreadnought feel a lot more comfortable. But it's ideal to get that move speed from epic and legendary upgrades, so you're not sacrificing so much weapon damage for it. Because if you're sacrificing a lot of weapon damage for it, oh wow, okay.
Legendary upgrade. How can it not?
Then you're not going to have the damage potential to even win the boss fight.
Get ready.
So a lot of it is just, did I get lucky with what was offered to me as upgrades this round or not, is what it comes down to. And the weapons that are available and the weapon mod choice, which is, I don't usually play a lot of games like this, but I did log a bunch of hours playing Hades, and it reminds me of Hades, which sometimes the stars align and you get all the stuff that you're hoping to get, and it makes you really strong, and then sometimes you just keep getting offered upgrades on upgrade paths that you don't care about, that have no synergy, and you end up underpowered and overwhelmed. And there's really not much to be done. It wasn't player error, it wasn't a tactical error, it was just chance. And a lot of it turns to
That's
chance.
the upgrade I was looking for.
So let's have them do electrical damage,
Rock and stone.
so that all my current damage type is electrical now. As much as I like them to follow around, this is a bit of a gamble. And given that I'm all electrical, I'll do the Thunderbirds too, instead of the shock fence. shock fences can be a little challenging to use, and they don't help me kill anything in front of me. I do love them, though, especially when they're modded.
Rhadamant, get ready.
They can be very, very, very strong. Oops.
We got a launch. Supplies inbound.
Should've worn a hard hat, stupids! Gotta have it.
At this point, like, my main damage dealer is obviously my turrets. So, even if the upgrades really suck, I think it's probably in my best interest just to make sure that my turrets have the best crack at getting to level 18. And hopefully, the next two mod offers that I get for the turrets are good ones. So that, my damage for the dreadnought fight does not suck. But I will say my total damage output's pretty low here, which is why there's like swarms behind me that I just can't clear efficiently. Actually, it's not that bad. Most of them are dead.
Completed, miner. Get to the drop pod before it heads back to orbit.
Just got trapped.
This is it.
Time's ticking, miner. Move it. Stage 2 completed.
Level 20 is pretty low experience for stage 2. You know, the stretch is to try to get 15 per stage, and getting 10 per stage is really bad.
Let's shake it up.
Move speed, XP gain, and luck. Just let's gamble. Let's gamble.
There's work to be done. Up and at 'em, miner.
Move speed's now at 11%, mining is 27. I probably don't need any more mining speed, it's pretty good. A little bit more move speed would be nice. But what I really need is turret levels and turret damage. And I definitely feel like the turret bonuses that I've unlocked so far have been really pathetic. They've been like green at best for the most part, and I can feel it. Because I feel like my turrets are just not putting big damage out as a result. So hopefully we'll get some epic and legendary options for the turrets. Or I'll get overrun by swarms and not be able to kill them. So one reason I like electrical for the turrets, it's not super great against the dreadnought, but because it arcs... Oh, see, here we go. That's helpful. Because it arcs, it is pretty good against swarm management. And because the engineer's gear, I find, is particularly good against the dreadnought, because it is really effective at attacking the things that are behind you. Focusing the engineer's upgrades in swarm management, I find to be really handy. Because if you don't upgrade the engineer stuff to manage the swarms will overwhelm you. Or at least in my experience, that's been true. Thank you. So here's an instance where, like, my turrets are arcing a bunch of damage on the detonators, and I'm clearing the swarms pretty effectively as a result.
This will help me work harder.
Glad there was a little path here for me. I haven't gotten the supply drop, right?
Think you can kill me? Well, think again. Gotta have it.
Alright. Explode when they're removed or follow me around. Let's go with tank tracks, so they follow me around.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
I'm just gonna eat it. Ow.
It's a little extra special. Oh, give me those savvy things. Just the upgrade I was looking for. That will
Yeah, it was worth it. I ended up getting so much experience from just like biting the bullet and plowing into the group that I ended up with so much healing off of that experience that almost all the damage that I incurred has been healed back up.
I'm having an epic vision. This'll do.
No. I don't think I did get the supply drop, and that thing just got melted because the upgrades that I've gotten in the last few levels have ramped my damage up a lot. Yeah, supply drop was west-northwest of me, so that one's just going to have to be a loss.
The drop pod is about to leave. Get your ass moving, miner.
Okay, I've been averaging about 10 per stage. Again, it's not great, but I think with what I picked up this last round, my damage should be going up a bunch.
I rarely pick one of these.
Probably shouldn't have bought that mining upgrade, but
That's work to be done. Up and at 'em,
I'll
miner.
mine ridiculously fast now.
Wonder what slot this seven.
So the turrets are 2 levels away from hitting 18, and I'm really hoping that the last mod offered to me is a strong one.
I want it.
But you can see the turrets are really putting down a lot of fire and shredding now. Whereas before they were just like plinking at targets, now they're actually wiping them out pretty effectively.
I found gold.
Yeah, so Soul Blader, I was speaking about that before, about how at Has 3 you kind of hit a bit of a wall
Detected.
where only very meta builds will succeed, and you end up just losing a heck of a lot once you start hitting Has 3 maps. I have found that to be true in my own experience as well, and I think at that point what the game might want you to do is to run a whole bunch of like Umanite and Jadiz and Enor Pearl type stuff for a bunch of the passive level up upgrades, because the stronger you are, your stage 1 performance dictates in a huge part all of the subsequent stages. So if you have a really strong start, you end up having a really strong finish. And the best way to have a really strong start is to have a bunch of passive upgrades so that your stage 1s are high experience, and that will snowball. So I feel like once you're at that sort of doldrums of the stage 3 where everything seems unmanageable, running a bunch of runs where your sole intention is to just get tons of Umanite and Jadiz and all these passive bonus materials, so that you're strongest possible at stage 1 going into a fresh map. That's what I feel like the meta is, and that is maybe a little boring because it's very grindy and kind of unfortunate as a map design. So perhaps they fix it, but I think that's probably the strategy that is that will work best. Or just rely on like pure dumb luck of being offered the best stuff. You know, there's always that too, of like, oh man, all of my mods and all of my upgrades, everything is like perfect and you know. But relying on that kind of luck kind of sucks. All right, let's get this supply drop because I screwed up the last supply drop and I don't want to do it twice in a row.
Ugly son of a bitch.
I really hope I get a magnet too because there's experience all over the map that's going to be hard to collect.
Hell yeah!
Because like for me right now, I'm not being offered turret upgrades even though I really, really desperately need them and want them. That's just not what the game's been giving me. Which means that my chance of success dwindles each time the game deigns to give me turret bonuses. And I could spend an enormous amount of gold to just like continually reroll. But, you know, that kind of sucks, right? Burning all your gold that way.
This'll do.
Good work. Wipeout inbound.
We don't see these
Well done.
every day.
Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get them now. It will leave without you.
And do a little bit of a risky run back here. Trying to get more experience.
This is perfect for my build.
Alright, there we go. I'm gonna go with extra capacity. So I have tons and tons of turrets. So they'll follow me around and I'll have swarms of them.
About to leave. Get your ass moving.
Hopefully
miner.
that's effective. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm glad I have really good mining speed. Bunch of vines right around the drop pod. Oof.
Stage is the dreadnought.
That could have been fatal. I would gauge that my chance at killing the dreadnought is very, very low.
Next.
If I'm honest.
This makes my whole life better. Next.
I don't think that this will end well for me,
It's a little extra special.
but I will give it my all.
Here we go. You found the dreadnought. Now you just need to make it come out of hibernation by destroying the cocoons. Show them what a single dwarf can do.
The good news is I do have a swarm of very lethal turrets that can melt stuff. And I have pretty good move speed and pretty good mine speed. So I can traverse the map tile well. So we'll see. I am melting these elites here.
Suck on this, you friggin' nature. I'll take this.
Let's try to get one more weapon mod for my stubby. I know that the stubbies, the last mod I picked was made it weaker, but maybe another mod will make it more effective. So get the stubby to 12. The elites are so much easier to kill than the dread, though. It's also a little challenging to deploy turrets during the dread fight, because you have to kind of stop to deploy them. But yeah, these elites are getting monster trucked. It's good. Vaporized, as the engineer says. What time?
In forces.
So now, mining speed, I would say, is even more important on this map than the other ones, because you have the vines that will regenerate blocking your path, which can actually be very handy, because the paths will you know, be eventually cleared by the dreadnought themselves. So using the regenerating vines to sort of heal the paths that you want blocked can be handy. Let's go over to that supply drop and get that done with. So the turrets are pretty good at about swarm clearing too, as you can see, especially because they're electrical. The bonus of the electrical is that it arcs a bit, so it's hitting a lot of stuff. Except for I don't have a good way to get over there without getting smushed.
Sorry, little bud. Your own fault for being full of...
Ouch. I am way wounded. This is not a good position to be in. All the spitter crap. Red sugar cube, please. Alright. The remaining time on the clock before the dreadnought pops out, I'm just going to try to heal. And collect as much of this experience as I can to try to get my stubby up. And here we go.
This will help me work harder.
Explosion whenever it reloads, or fire rate and reload speed. I'll do fire rate and reload speed. That will help me clear some of the little snots that are in my way.
Yeah, give me some sugar.
So the valid path here sucks. It's just this little... Oh, I can't even get through there? Oh, man, this map design... I'm, like, stuck where I am right now. I have to fight my way out. That's a really bad position to be in at the start of a dread fight. Because this is a dead end. Those red vines go all the way through with no path. This sucks. And this is where, like, shock fences are worthless. Because shock fences are only useful when you're running from things. So I don't really know how I'm going to handle that in this boss fight. Because that part of the map is kind of dead to me now.
Much better.
Oh, God. This sucks. Oh, no. The dreadnought is getting melted by the turrets, though. I just need to have some breathing. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh! Life flashing before my eyes.
Yeah, give me some sugar.
I need time to stop and deploy some turrets. Yeah, it's dead.
Dreadnought wiped out. Good work, team. Objective completed.
One of the reasons why I really like electrical is that because of the arcing, the dreadnought was getting hit by the turrets even if the turrets weren't directly attacking it specifically because of the arcing electrical yeah. I'm gonna need a cold ale after that. Yeah, no kidding.
If we just give you enough guns, management is pleased.
Whew. I hate the smart rifle. And I unlocked the driller. So, I don't really have a lot of time left in the stream. But what I will do is spend some of my remaining resources and run a driller run just so you can see driller. So there's the cost. Oh, I'm out of gold now. The cost to buy stuff goes up. So it becomes more and more and more expensive to get those passive upgrades.
Hi-ho,
and let's see,
hi-ho.
there is... So this is a driller run. The driller has the flamethrower.
Lava, exploding maggots.
This is probably an engineer run because of the LMG gun platform.
Crystalline caverns, my
and
favorite.
This is also a... Actually, I think level 2 scouts start with a warhog. No, that's level 2 engineers start with a warhog. So that's probably an engineer run. So let's do the driller run, which is the has-to hollow bow. So the current priority is just showcase the driller.
Okay, hazard 2, sure.
So the driller's bonus here is that for every 2 seconds that they're mining, they get faster at mining. Basically, they charge up their mining arms, and their starting weapon is a little handgun that shoots behind them.
On top of things,
So their damage potential initially is really rotten, but their resource collection is very strong. So the challenge with the driller is to
want it.
make sure you're ramping up your damage effectively. And I personally find a lot of the weapons that the driller ends up getting are kind of lackluster. That they require you to be frighteningly close to enemies, which is not great for killing things like spitters or dreadnoughts. So I do find that the driller is a bit challenging to use as a result, unless you get lucky with weapon mods that allow you to do damage from a distance. They do have one weapon that I think is really strong, which is the flamethrower turret. The flamethrower turret, if spec'd right, can be an absolute nightmare and amazing. Oh, it's this. The Krakatoa Sentinel.
I'm the apex predator.
The Krakatoa Sentinel, I've had my Krakatoa Sentinels essentially solo the dreadnought before, when designed right with the right mods. So that, I think, in my opinion, is where most of the damage is. But of course, I don't have the weapon mod unlocked, so the first run with the Krakatoas aren't going to be super effective. Oh, I didn't give myself an out. Luckily, I'm a driller, and I can just, like, make my way out. Easy. I also just unlocked the burn belt. So here you can see the Krakatoas deployed in a group. Melts the group pretty good.
This one.
Ooh, hello.
This one makes me want to
Legendary all damage, 20%.
I'm growing stronger.
LZ ready. Resupply inbound.
What a shot! It's calling to me. Boy, needed that. It's a little extra special.
So here you can see the elite getting absolutely chunked by the Krakatoa fire. And all I have to do is lure it into the fire, and it just gets
All tasks complete.
melted.
Stage finished. The drop pod is prepped and ready.
Unfortunately, I did not get a magnet, so I left a lot of experience on the field. So the fact that I'm only level 10, I think, is a little misleading, because I killed a lot more than that. I was just not able to double back to it.
Gotta have it.
Time to take hatches shut. Take
So the strategy, if I had more time, the strategy would just be to get my Krakatoa to 6. And then essentially just, like, die more or less on purpose, so that I could restart the round
I've been dreaming
with
something
modded
like
Krakatoas. Because
the drill,
that's
Banner.
going to
Fulfill
do,
your
like,
objectives. Let's get
this
out of
little
here.
handgun is never really... You would have to get it to, like, level 30 for it to be effective to kill a dreadnought. Even then, it only attacks the behind you. Which is useful for dreadnoughts, of course, because dreadnoughts are going to be chasing you. You're not going to be chasing... Oh, yeah, there we go. You're not going to be chasing it, but it is not a boss killer. Some weapons are just not boss killers. And trying to make them boss killers is going to be very challenging. Where some weapons are absolutely boss killers, like the turrets from last round, and these Krakatoas. And these Krakatoas can be given tank treads just like the LMG platform turrets, where they follow you around. And one of the huge benefits of following you around, the regular turrets, as you saw, will aim at things, whereas the Krakatoas just kind of sweep, kind of haphazardly a little bit. But when given tank treads, they will actively seek out and aim at things a lot more effectively, which makes them even more dangerous. So let's clear this horde. I want this beautiful experience. Oh, come on, game.
This works. I always waste my money on cosmetics.
I also really like that the voice lines call them cosmetics, because in regular DRG, cosmetics are a big part of it. You know, the way your dwarf looks and the way your weapons look, they're all cosmetics that are unlocked through in-game achievements or supporter DLC packs and the things. So the fact that like leveling up your weapons is called cosmetic paint jobs, I just find hilarious. So increase your damage 1% for every 5 gold you have, which is pretty nice on the driller, who's able to get gold really, really effectively.
Never felt better.
Also, the base Krakatoas are really useful for having a, as you just saw, having a tunnel completely full of fire, which becomes very, very lethal. So the Crisper Flamethrower is a flamethrower that just burns everything around you like this. And then the Driller also gets another weapon, the Sludge Pump, which is virtually the same thing. It's just a sludge that goes around you that puts toxic sludge on the ground. So it's a challenging class to use because of the very close proximity that you need to your targets. These weapons can have upgrades where their beam length is increased, same with the Krakatoas. But those upgrades are not often offered, which means if you don't get those, this flamethrower is it's very suicidal to be used against dreadnoughts as a result, in my opinion. Because, like, you're never going to want to be this close to a dreadnought unless you have incredibly good micromanagement skills, which I don't. So it would be a pretty fatal thing for me to attempt to use.
Objective completed, miner. Get to the drop pod before it gets back to orbit.
As I think I've fairly well demonstrated, I face tank everything all the time in a very bad way. It is a little bit my MO.
Stage 2
Well,
completed. Taking you closer
although
to
I
the
haven't finished
target.
this run, I have to run IRL. But I hope that I have showcased the game. My 2 cents, if you like the bullet hell games, like if you really like Enter the Gungeon or Vampire Survivors, games like that, or even games like Hades for those type of gameplay loops, this game's probably going to be up your alley. I am hoping for a little bit more variety to missions later on, so it's not just kill the dreadnought over and over and over again, because, you know, variety is nice. And also, there is sort of the difficulty dearth or whatever, where you get around Hazard 3 and it becomes, you end up not winning anything. So you get to a point where, let me just abandon this
I
run.
don't get paid enough for this.
You end up unlocking these Hazard 3 maps that are just so hard to complete the dive and do all the things that it wants you to do because of the increased level of challenge, that it's very hard to get to like 4 or 5. And there's not even, you know, so there is sort of the difficulty cliff that a lot of people are complaining about, and I experienced it myself when I was playtesting, because I have, I don't know, like 20 hours in the game or 25 hours in the game, something like that, and I hit that difficulty cliff where I had most of my hazard 1s, 2s, and some of the 3s cleared, but like I could barely put a foot into hazard 4 without getting smoked on like, you know, stage 1 or 2. So it became really, really challenging. Thank you for tuning in to Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 20th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Rock and stone, dwarves!